Okay, Emily's got some comments or complaints to read here.
Alrighty, I just got two of them here. So, dear Mayor John Antaramian, Kenosha City Council members, and other elected officials, in solidarity with the recent Black Lives Matter protest, I'm writing to bring your attention to the shooting of Jacob Blake under the oversight of the Kenosha Police Department. On August 23rd, 2020, Jacob Blake was helping break up a fight when Kenosha police officers arrived on the scene, drew their weapons, and tasered him. As he was walking away to check on his children in the car, officers pulled him backwards and shot him in the back multiple times at point-blank range. His three sons in the car were only a few feet away. Jacob was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and he was released on October 7th with possible permanent paralysis. The Kenosha Police Department's decision to resort to violence against an unarmed man for not conforming to some idealized form of compliance is inexplicable and inexcusable. At no point did the police try to de-escalate the situation. Jacob has suffered irreversible harm to his body, and his three children are being subject to a traumatic experience because of these officers' brutality. On August 27th, the Chicago Times reported that Jacob Blake was handcuffed to his hospital bed for unknown charges by the police. Despite being paralyzed from the waist down, this is unacceptable treatment. We need to charge these officers for their crimes, and we need to move away from policing as an institution. The police have proved nationwide again and again that they do not prioritize the lives of their subjects, and they disproportionately enact violence upon people of color. It is high time we fund alternative solutions of public safety instead. I ask that the police officers be named and held accountable for their actions in criminal court. Additionally, Kenosha must increase police accountability by providing transparency on the use of force against subjects with statistics on race, gender, disability, religion, and age of subjects made publicly available. Kenosha should also work to have state of Wisconsin follow Colorado's reforms in blocking qualified immunity as a defense for police officers in state court. I also asked for the Kenosha Police Department's budget to be further downsized to demilitarize the police force, and that money be used for community services and alternative crisis interventions, especially for homeless and mentally ill. Doing so, we will make living in Kenosha safer for minorities who suffer the brunt of police brutality. The lack of police accountability is a stain on group and alleges to serve the people and uphold the law. There is no justice if the police are exempt from the law. If Kenosha continues to ignore cases like Jacob Blake's, you will be complicit in upholding structures of corruption. Sincerely, Sidra Rafakat. Good morning, members of the Police and Fire Commission and the citizens of Kenosha. My name is Joelle Trudeau of 7850 34th Avenue. I'm writing today with questions for the members regarding the KPD policies, trust, and expectations. The mission statement of the Kenosha Police Department is, the mission of the Kenosha Police Department is to serve all people with respect, fairness, and compassion. We are committed to preserving peace, order, and safety, enforcing laws and ordinances, and safeguarding constitutional rights. Bruce McCurdy, what does the Kenosha Police Department's mission statement mean to you? Would you say that the actions by the Kenosha police officer, Officer Shutsky, on August 23rd, 2020, upheld and promoted the department's mission statement? Is shooting a suspect in the back a demonstration of the department's fairness and compassion? Is the representation of the Kenosha Police Department's you defend? Leo Chiapetta, how does the Kenosha Police Department regain the trust of the public which it serves when the department was recorded robbing Jacob Blake of his constitutional rights? How does the public regain its trust in the KPD when there has been no accountability for that violation? The department's top leadership, which created the culture that led to the shooting of Jacob Blake, has been untouched by accountability. Why? Richard Gallo, are the Kenosha police officers so protected by their union that they can only be fired for breaking the law? According to the Kenosha Police Department's use of force policy, the definition of deadly force is as it follows. In Wisconsin, the definition of deadly force applied by police is the use of any means of instrumentality intended or is likely to cause death. An officer may use deadly force when he or she believes it's necessary to prevent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself or to others. Therefore, the justification for deadly force is the immediate threat of death or great bodily harm, but the application of deadly force is that action which is likely to cause death. Richard, did the citizens of Kenosha witness the appropriate use of deadly force as defined in the department's policy and procedure book? Everett Butler, as a former teacher, does it concern you that the Kenosha Police Department has thus condoned the discharge of Officer Shutsky's weapon so close to children? Would it concern you if the children that could have been harmed or killed by that vehicle by an errant or ricochet bullet had white skin? Do you understand that the lack of accountability speaks volume to our community? Jerry Cucinato, how has trust been earned? Is trust earned by having policies and procedures kept in a book on a shelf? Is it the Kenosha Police and Fire Commission's position that the service provided by the KPD is good enough? According to the bylaws of this commission as posted on the Kenosha.org website, the president of the Police and Fire Commission has the authority to call special board committees. Special board committees may be created from time to time as necessity demands and in accordance with specified board policies and these bylaws. Bruce, with the numerous problems in our city faced this past summer created by the actions of the Kenosha Police Department, be reason to create a special board committee to investigate the training process and culture in the KPD. The KPD culture that supports shooting a suspect in the back, the KPD culture that supports discharging your weapon within feet of children, the KPD culture that circles the wagons to defend the indefensible. I will end with a plea to the commission. Please take the first step to help right a wrong committed by our police force. Terminate Chesky's employment with the KPD for actions unbecoming of a Kenosha police officer. Terminate Chief Miskinnis for allowing the culture to thrive where an officer Chesky not only exists but is protected. Thank you, Joelle Trudeau.